please tell us about you? What are you doing? How long have you been farming?
Well, I'm second generation farmer. My father was an agriculture engineer. I have been farming since I was born. I met Catalina, I think it was 2013, 2014. I think the first time I saw you, and you were here in El Salvador. So it's been more than 10 years. It was 12 years ago that I started to work more directly, because I used to work before working directly into coffee. I used to work with finance. I used to work with banks, and then I worked with insurance companies. Now I work 24/7 with the coffee farm of our family. My father started that, and it's been a very nice journey to meet people like Cafema, the entire team. Catalina has been so nice, and all the crew. And we've been missing sending coffee to Russia for a while. Can I share a little presentation really quick?
Yeah, please.
So this is where everything started. That's my father and that's my mother. That's me as a little boy. It's been my motivation to do agriculture, not only coffee, but I really like helping people in agriculture. I went to school at Zamorano, which Zamorano is one of the best agricultural schools in Latin America. And then I did my grad studies in the University of Louisiana in Baton Rouge in the United States. Then I worked with them, GE Capital, that's the bank, the banking sector. And then I moved to work in insurance with AIG. And now we're in the coffee business and we sell coffee. Most of the companies are here. We might be missing one or two. This is part of the challenge, because if you see, thanks to specialty, we're able to sell at a differentiated price. But if you look at the real coffee prices, taking into account inflation, the record price in 1977 was $3.39. That's the equivalent to selling coffee in 2024 at $31.72 if you take into account inflation. And right now the market price went to up to $4.50, which is still very low compared to the $3.39 of 1977. Because of the prices right now, we all know that we're in the third wave, but we're moving from the third wave to the fourth wave. So if you see the waves, we're pretty much in the middle where the surfers are. Still yet to be decided what the fourth wave of coffee will be. It used to be that in coffee industry, we would like to showcase the poor farmer and try to sell pity, or try to make people have empathy to give more money for the poor farmer. And that way we would like to make it more profitable. I think in a way we're shifting more to selling the experience. Like if you see, this guy is the CEO of Opus One, and their bottles of wine sell for more than $600 a bottle, but they don't sell pity, they sell the expertise. So in this industry, both Cafema and the farmer, or we are partners, and we're in it to sell better coffee and to sell coffee better, because that's the only way we can both make a business. For El Salvador, as a coffee farming country, it's difficult for us, and more for me, because I try to push a lot pacamaras, and it's only one farmer. And for countries like Brazil, it's very easy because they are very well recognized, like Colombia also. But El Salvador in the past was recognized for that, for our violence. But our president has done a good job promoting cryptocurrencies, and he's become famous. Then we get to the point, and this is a conversation I had with somebody from Germany. Should we certify organic, rainforest, fair trade, and biodynamic, or any certification? And when I explain to people, the best certification in the market is quality, because there is no shortcuts. You can't cheat to come up with high-end coffee. There is a documentary on Netflix. It's called Kiss the Ground, and it's promoting regenerative agriculture. And that's pretty much what we do in Santa Rosa. We're not certified or anything. We don't look for certifications, because like I tell you, our certification is quality and your approval. So this is a picture from a drone from Santa Rosa, and you can see that this is real shade grown coffee, because you can barely see the coffee shrubs down there. and below the trees. And that's one of the things Catalina liked when she visited us. So we try to maintain harmony between the production of coffee and the environment. That's another picture of the farm where you can see how the trees are in between the coffee shrubs. And there's different lines of pruning. So the coffee you get comes from the northern part, Chalatenango, which is up there in the map, and with this little country, tiny country in Central America. This is a picture of the processes we do. We do pretty much every process. Russia likes mainly the naturals we do. But at the beginning, when we started, we used to do more washed, and now we shifted. We used to do 20% non-washed and 80% washed. Now we do 20% washed, 80% non-washed. So our aim is, when we started this, just getting to 80 points was tricky, but now our aim is mainly to stick to 90 points, because that's where your customers and our customers like to sell coffee, because that's the best way to make money. Varietals, as you know, we try to stick to pacamaras, but we're moving into geishas because of the hype of geishas, it's inevitable that I'm also teaching courses right now in coffee, and I was explaining to students that it's inevitable to look for the geishas because customers are willing to pay stupid amount of money just for the varietal, even though there's amazing Kenya's amazing pacamaras, but there's so much hype around the geisha that everybody wants it, and they're willing to pay whatever they want. Right now, the most attractive market for coffee is China because of the amount. I mean, if you look at a pyramid of wealth, 2% of the population is ultra rich, and the Chinese, an ultra rich population in the same size as the entire population of Japan. Therefore, they're willing to buy very expensive geishas. This is just a little example of what Panama has done. I mean, they're selling geishas for more than $5,000 a pound, which is ridiculous. So it's a good idea to take advantage of that hype because everybody's willing to pay more for the geishas. And then this part is more about how we're shifting more into thinking about customers, because the coffee industry is more industry centric. Like, we come up with grinders that are very expensive, a lot of equipment that's very expensive, but normal people don't have the money or the time to brew a cup of coffee in their house. So more and more industry is shifting to more convenience. This is another example of convenience, and Nestlé did a really good job with Nespresso. They used George Clooney to market their coffee, and apparently a lot of people liked it, even though the coffee is not nice, but their marketing is amazing. And it's very convenient, so people buy it because it's convenient. So we need to look more into that area of becoming more convenient for customers. This is another example of convenience where the industry did a lot of technology. This is frozen extract coffee from Cometeer. They haven't done a very good job with the marketing like Nestle did, but the product is very good. And this is the future for me. This is my little boy. That's the end. It started with family and it ends with family.
So we will ask some questions from the audience and I will tell you, okay? The first question is your personal opinion about geisha. So about the variety, and do you like it on a taste and everything else? So could you please share?
I think it's a good coffee. It's a good varietal. It tastes good. I mean, there's good geisha out there, but sometimes people tend to cup geisha and get excited just because it's a geisha, and they tend to give scores that are ridiculously high just because it's the varietal and the cupper identified it. But it doesn't really necessarily mean that the coffee is outstanding. Sometimes geisha gets a 90 just because it's a geisha, but it's not really a 90. Sometimes it's an 87, but people tend to confuse just because of the hype. And there's pacamara. Like in this auction for COE, I was disappointed because the best price was for a geisha that was a third place, and our pacamara was the second or third best price, and it was the best scoring coffee.
So the question about the waves, they really enjoyed your slide about waves, and they are asking about, do you like surfing or no?
I like it, but I'm not a good surfer, and I'm more scared of the ocean.
Another question. The question is about the difference in your coffee when you have the difference in the price. For example, for the coffee, if you have 80 something or you have 90, what is the difference in the price, especially in your farms?
Normally, we don't have less than 87s. because of the entire process. Like we take a lot of care in the nutritional part. We take a lot of care of the coffee during the post-harvest. So our aim is that our lowest score ends up being an 87. And this is a very conservative low score because this year some buyers even increased prices because our cupping scores were very, very nice. If we have like an 84, because we have low elevation farms, we don't export that coffee. That coffee goes to local market and it's sold roasted. So we get a very good markup. So it's sold market price here, maybe $7 roasted or $8 roasted or for an 84. And the 87s and above, they get sold for $10 and above per bag.
This is the price for Kidri or for LB or roasted or green?
Roasted. That's local market.
This is only local roasted coffee. If we speak about green beans and 87 or something from the auction, for example, the difference, the auction coffee 90 plus or around 90.
Auction
like
coffee
top
goes from $10 to $97 per pound in auction. $10 was more than 10 years ago. So nowadays, higher prices.
So the question is about last time you was here. You were telling about that you are making a big job about like cooperation with other small farmers, and so people are asking about this work. What do you do right now? What results you have right now?
Well, it was difficult because we created a co-op. The co-op still working. I was able to get him money for a project, but my mom was sick and I had a little boy, so I had to step down. So I told them that they were pretty much on their own, and we still talk, but the project is pretty much I stepped away and they're working to see if they can make it work on their own because my hands are full.
The question is about advices about growing coffee at home.
For you guys, it's difficult because of the weather. The coffee plant is regulated by sunlight, and your latitude and longitude are very, very weird for coffee. And it's not used to it. So you would have to do like a setup, like a greenhouse, where you would have to put like artificial lighting and give it sunlight during certain times, and it would be very expensive for you guys to do a real setup for the coffee shrub to be comfortable and to produce something worth actually producing with flavor.
Yeah, the question is not about like really farming. It's not about the taste at the end. It's just to grow coffee at home, just to have healthy tree.
Oh, but still just to have a healthy tree, you just have to keep it inside. It's just not going to produce good berries. It's just going to be a ornamental tree, like the ones you have there in the shop.
Yeah, we have a lot. Then another question, sorry. Do you usually sell seedlings from your farms? Seedlings.
Some farmers will buy, like Guatemala has bought a lot of our coffee for seeds. Mexico also bought some. I think somebody in South America. But yeah, we sell.
So what is usual price for your seedlings from trees, like from competitions from the winning trees or from that area?
The seeds normally we sell for more than $75 a pound for seeds because it takes extra work. It's not just picking, and it's
not just a green bean, right?
No, there's a special selection for seeds there's extra work, and it's a lot of work extra that you have to do. That's why it's so expensive. It's not like we could trick people and just get some cherries and sell them. We could do that, but we take it very serious. And most of the people who buy seed from us tell us that the genetic material we sell is very, very high quality.
So the usual varieties people ask you to buy as a seedlings.
Mainly
Pacamara. So do you have any experience with good experience with growing coffee in greenhouses? The question is from Vladimir, from my boss. Maybe he want to start something.
It's too expensive. I was going over in class, and the volume you could get in a greenhouse is too little. If coffee prices go to $200 a pound on average, then it's business. Then you can start greenhouse growing. But at these prices, it's too difficult to make a business. The cost of producing in a greenhouse would be too high. You might, I mean, your cost would be around $50 per pound at least.
So you told us that you teach some students. Where do you do it usually?
Online, I mean, the first time I taught was engineering. I taught at the university where I went to school, and right now I'm teaching like this virtually to people from Colombia, from Honduras, from Nicaragua, from Guatemala. So they're in a master's program, and I'm one of the professors.
Wait, we just have several minutes. I just want to ask you maybe two more questions. One is about the fermentation process you use right now. You mostly some anaerobical practice. Do you use some different bacteria, not from your coffee bacteria or something? So what do you do right now?
Well, we've never been like at the beginning. We tried to experiment with anaerobics and all this hype, but then everybody started noticing that when the fermentation is too much, coffee tastes the same. So we started focusing on our terroir or on our own bacteria. We have never done a more aggressive fermentation, so we use the microorganisms from the farm, and that's why our coffee tastes different. And I believe that's where the industry should go, because if we all start doing fermentation with bacteria and the same bacteria, all coffee is going to taste the same.
Yeah, thank you. And another question, the little question about could you share more information about your last winning lots from COE maybe? How did you make it? What was it? So also something about processing maybe.
The new process we developed this harvest didn't go into COE, but we experimented with geisha using a process similar to what Panama calls the bagging and putting in the water. But we did it in our own way. What we're doing is we're bagging the naturals at night, because what we want to promote is more ripening gas, which is the ethylene gas, I think. But I don't know how you
Yeah, I mean, we know this.
so that gas is used to mature fruit. So when you bag the coffee at night, we are promoting more gas, so the coffee cherry ripens even more while we're drying it. But we do it at night so we do not promote a aggressive fermentation, because at night the temperature is lower, and we just want to make sure that the ripeness of the coffee is at the maximum stage, and that also is promoting breaking down sugars with enzymes, natural enzymes, but not bacteria or mold. And the other project we have is we're using copper, like we put copper in the fermentation tanks, and it's giving us a very nice result, because that way what you're doing when you put copper pieces of copper pipe, you are avoiding fermentation from molds and fungus, and you're focusing on fermentation only from bacteria. And that also gave a very nice result. The coffee that won was a honey process. That was mainly due to the fertilization or nutrition of the plant, and it was a special nutrition. And that's the other thing we're working on, is we're promoting using a combination of more organic fertilizer together with the inorganic to balance the food of the plant, or the nutrition of the plant.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time, so sad, because we have a lot of questions. Yeah, but next time you should come.
I'm looking forward to it. I think this year I wanted to go, but this year is gonna be tight because I was expecting a better price in COE. But I want to go to Japan for the Pokemon anniversary. That's
When?
next year. Pokemon anniversary is the 30th anniversary for Pokemon. And I started collecting the little cards. So I like them. So I want to go to see the anniversary.
So thank you so much. A lot of good information and everything. So
Nice to see you. Hope
bye
to see you
bye.
soon. Come visit.
Yeah, sure. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.